has given 2 bursaries and a scholarship to current students, and our goal is to continue to do this in years to come. I would just like to introduce Steve Flarrell, the class of 75, who is Vice President of Inland Facilitation. Steve, please stand and be able to join us this evening. Again, congratulations to all the athletes and the Hall of Fame inductees.
And now, before we eat, because that's what I like to do, eat, I'm going to call up Mark. Mark Payne, your new VP of Sports for 2000-2001 to say grace.
First of all, I'd like to say how excited I am to be working with all the coaches and the players and the athletic staff for next year. Hopefully every team will have that national championship. Let's try. Now I'll say grace. Father, as we bow before thee, hear our thankful prayer for the food that thou hast given and thy loving care. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, dinner time. Here's how it's going to work. First of all, the buffet is set up. There are 4 serving areas at the immediate back left, my left. What's going to happen is, first of all, we're going to start with the head table. You better get up there. And our athletic department staff table, second, of course, because I have to work with them on Monday. And the 3 Hall of Fame tables will begin now. I'll call numbers out. The number on your table will call it after that. And enjoy your meal and enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Tables 27 and 28 as well. 27 and 28. Tables 26, 25, and 13. As well as the UCSA VIP table. Student program here at the college. Without both of them, I'd like to give them a round of applause at this time. We've been missed about doing that. Our 30th year of collegiate athletics. I would like at this time to have members of our athletic staff stand at this time to be recognized for outstanding year. National championships this year, soccer, were an overwhelming success. But not only that, an overwhelming amount of time went into our event and hosting that. We're very proud of that, proud of all the people that assisted us. And in addition to that, I'd like to have my staff stand and be recognized at this time. First of all, Karen Richards. Lynn Tulloch. The gentleman who will be receiving his 10th year anniversary award at the college this fall, the College Appreciation Night, Mr. Michael Duggan. And last, but certainly not least, an individual who we're going to be losing in 1 month's time when he leaves to pursue his goal of becoming a teacher. For those faculty, teachers here that come from the high school system, you might want to give them a few pointers. Maybe not getting in the right profession according to some of the comments I've heard. But he's going to pursue his educational goals at Teachers College. We're very proud of that. We're very proud of the job Sean has done here since graduating and serving time on council. What we'd like to do at this time, we'd like to have Sean come forward to receive a really special award on behalf of the college and the athletic department. Western University in, what's it called, London. Not bad for an Owen Sound native. At this time, we'd like to move into a couple of awards before we start with the Hall of Fame awards presentation. We present each year a special award to recognize a former student athlete here who left us in 1988. Battling a long and drawn-out battle with Hodgkin's disease. He was a former member of our men's basketball team. We present each year in his behalf through Sherry Basson and Don Cherry's grapevine, who knew his family very well, the Robert Burnett Memorial Scholarship Award. Each year, recognizing and remembering Rob Burnett for his outstanding efforts and his battle and will and determination. This year goes each year to to a member of the men's basketball team, awarded by the coaching staff. And this year's Robert Burnett Memorial Scholarship Award goes to Nigel Penny. Please come forward. Congratulations, Nigel. We're going to move to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony portion this evening. Next cell phone that rings here, I get. James. Am I expecting any more important calls, James? Is it okay? Soccer awards are a little bit later. What we'd like to do right now is continue on with our agenda. Our Hall of Fame induction ceremonies mark a time of year when we get to recognize those people who have done a terrific job. Their contributions to Durham College athletics over the years have been significant, and we recognize this evening 3 individuals who have contributed greatly during their time here, and in most cases, since they've left the college. We'd like to start off our award ceremony for our Hall of Fame induction ceremony 2000. By explaining that we will have one presenting person who is significant in that person's career here at Durham. In addition to that, we'll be making some presentations. You've had a chance, if you haven't, to check out the pictures that will forever be mounted in our Hall of Fame in the Athletic Center. So without further ado, I'd like to call upon presenter number 1, a former colleague and co-worker of our first Hall of Fame inductee, and a current professor in our sportsman faculty, and it's my pleasure to say a colleague that I've worked with and learned a great deal from. In fact, replaced him in our athletic department, although he said he wasn't replaceable. I'd like to call upon Mr. Ernie Rainbow.
Table, inductees, athletes, family and friends of the inductees, athletes.
I have to look at it while I read this.
First, before I get going, I'd like to congratulate the other inductees, Ryan and Julie. I both had the pleasure of knowing. And also, later on, to the athletes, and those who will be receiving awards and for the fine year and athletic programs that you folks have had this year. A little while back, I got a phone call asking if I would speak on behalf of Jim Buck, or James Buck, or Jimmy Buck, or whatever you're going by now. And my immediate response was, man, why me? Well, here I am, glad to be part of the evening. And as I thought, well, I better prepare for this evening and start to write some nice things about Jim. So while I was in line getting my buffet, I was thinking of what I was going to say tonight. And Jim started to tell me what to say tonight. And things started to become pretty clear why Jim is being inducted this evening. The number of accomplishments that Jim has made towards this program, and you'll hear it a fair number of times, the amount of work that goes behind the scenes for people to get on the court and travel to different places and to make things work is a lot of work, and Jim has been an instrumental part of that when he was here at Durham. And that is obviously why he is being inducted tonight. But something else started to become a little clearer. A pattern was starting to form in my mind of why Jim was being inducted as well, and I'll tell you as we go along. Back in '82 is the first time I met Jim. 18 years ago, Jim. And I must say, both of us look it. Jim arrived in the sports event program. He was a member of what was then called the SAA, a Student Athletic Association. We had two student governments at that time. And while I was assistant athletic director in a previous life, Jim and I got to know each other while he worked on that committee. At that time, I told Jim, yeah, too, I was in the sport event program, and yeah, I played some basketball for the college as well. In his second year in the program, Jim became an intern at the athletic department, and got to know Jim a lot better at that particular time. And I must say, when he worked for Dave Stewart and myself, he did fabulous work. Upon graduation, Stewie and I decided, well, let's hire this young Jim. And it certainly was a smart decision on our behalf. As an employee, his contributions continued to mount. He became head coach of the women's varsity basketball program. I told Jim at one time I coached the women's varsity basketball program as well. Senior convener for the women's basketball, instrumental in development of summer camps, and that takes us back. And also instrumental in development of the athletic department here at Durham, and what you see before you, not only at the provincial but also at the national level. Unfortunately, in '88, Jim left Durham and decided to take an assistant athletic director's position at Loyalist College. Same job that I had here at Durham. And the fact is that I was also born and raised in Belleville. So, pattern continues. Jim brought forth his knowledge to develop Loyalist program, provincially and nationally, but really, who cares about Loyalists? This is a Durham College affair. So, currently he is the OCAA Senior Men's Basketball convener, former OCAA Women's Soccer convener, former OCAA Women's Basketball convener. So you can see the time that this gentleman spends in the athletic department working on behalf of his students is very commendable. While at Loyalist, Jim decided to shave his head. Coincidence? I don't know. One was voluntary, one was not. Last year, I was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and Jim spoke on my behalf. I think it would only be fitting if I'd asked the nominating committee that Jim's portrait be put beside mine behind the Coke machine upstairs. Because I think that's where mine is. It's been a year and I haven't seen it yet, so I see the Coke machine beside hers, and I assume I'm the Coke guy. Oh, it's Pepsi now. Maybe I went with the Coke machine. Anyway, seriously. I said I would not spend a long period of time up here, and I'll hold true to that. I've known Jim for 18 years, and if these walls in here, Jim, could talk, they certainly would have a lot of stories and certainly a lot of memories for us, and we could go on and on. I can't think of too many people who have the integrity, the ethics, and concern not only for his athletes but his co-workers. When he left the Loyalists, it certainly was Durham College's loss. It is evident that the admiration when you're here at Durham or when you travel to Loyalist that Jim has from his athletes, from the people that he works with, from the OCAA to the CCAA, and it's all contributed to this man's character. He was raised well, this book. It is all for these undeniable reasons and obviously more, that Jim is so deserving to be inducted into tonight's Durham College Sports Hall of Fame. So Lindsay, Tori, look at your dad, say congrats, be proud of him, he did a hell of a job. And as a friend, as a colleague, as a Hall of Famer, congratulations, Jim. James Buck, inducted April 7th, 2000. I can't call you James. Jim Buck was born in St. Mary's in '58. That was a really good year. And began his involvement at Durham College as a student in '82. And then upon graduation from the Sport of In program in '84, continued his involvement as a member of the athletic department staff. Jim was a student athlete in 3 different sports at his time at Durham: basketball, soccer, and badminton. For his athletic efforts, he was named Durham College's Male Athlete of the Year in 1983-84. Later on, the standout athlete became the head coach of the women's basketball program and led them to OCAA championships on more than one occasion. While at Durham, Jim served as the OCAA women's basketball convener and volunteered his energy towards many initiatives that helped the OCAA grow over the years. Jim moved to Belleville, the Friendly City, in 1987 to become Assistant Athletic Director at Loyalist, and subsequently has become one of the top college athletic administrators, not only in the province, but in the country. Congratulations, Jim.
First off, I'd like to thank Ernie very much for those kind words. I know that as I inducted Ernie last year, Ernie called me at Loyalist one day and he said, "Jimmy, be kind to me." And so I was, and I appreciate him being kind to me tonight. As he mentioned, we spent a lot of time together over the years. Working in the department, traveling with various teams, hanging out, spending a lot of time together. And he's right, we had a lot of laughs and a lot of good times, and I appreciate those. And I look back with nothing but fond memories on the time that I was here at Durham. Not here tonight, but I'd like to thank Dave Stewart, who was formerly the athletic director. He was very instrumental in the things that happened to me at Durham. When I first walked into Durham College's gym, my first week as a student, I was shooting around with a rubber basketball, which they left out for the students at that time. And after a couple of minutes, the student saw me shooting. He went in the back room and got me a leather ball. So I thought that was a good sign. And he told me later, we only give those to special kids. So that was a nice introduction. When Dave and Ernie took me on as a placement student, they taught me a lot. They taught me how to run events with class, as they did then and continue to do now. I had nothing but good times when I was at Durham, both as a student athlete, as a member of the Student Association, as an employee of the college, and as a coach. And even these days, although I'm down the road an hour and a half, and our teams do battle with Durham, when it's not our team, I always look in the standings and I feel good when I see Durham College be successful. Despite the fact that I'm at another college, I'm a big supporter of what Ken and Mike and the rest of the staff do here. I'm honored to be associated with the program, and it's nothing but good things, and it's a real honor for me to, one, be recognized, but more importantly, be back here. And I guess the nicest thing about all the years that I spent here is the fact that I've made lifelong friends. Every year I come back to Durham, I always see people like Jerry Pettit, Dick Snowden, Vassal, Stan Martin, people that I've known for a lot of years, and there's always a warm handshake and a friendly smile. And it's probably the biggest thing amongst all the awards that I won in here, all the medals we won as coaches and as teams, and of course this great honor tonight. The biggest honor is the people that I've met and established lifelong friends, and that's what means the most to me. So again, I'd like to thank Ken and Mike for all the things, not only when I worked with those guys, but even now our continued friendship within the OCA. I'd like to congratulate both Ryan and Julie. I had the pleasure of coaching Julie for a couple of years with my women's basketball team. Certainly one of the best athletes that I've ever had the honor to coach. She was an outstanding player, so I have a nice connection with the two inductees here tonight. Of course, the other one, my connection to Ryan is, I didn't know him, but my connection there is I just wish I could golf like Ryan. So again, I want to thank Ken and Mike and the selection committee. I want to thank Ernie for the kind words. I want to thank my family for sharing this wonderful night with me tonight. I'd like to congratulate all the athletes that are here tonight on your successful seasons, and nothing but the best in the future. And thanks again, Durham College.
Thank you, Ernie. Congratulations, Jimmy. Our next presenter, our former Student Services Director here for many years, former women's softball coach for 8 years from our initial season and 8 since, and 3 OCAA championships as head coach. During that time, please welcome Mr. Richard Snowden, also a Hall of Famer.
Thanks, Ken. Guests and friends of Julie, please have a chair for Julie if you would at this moment. That would be quite okay. I was kind of getting ready for tonight, and I said, geez, it's great that they have a Hall of Fame for athletes, but what about good people? Like, where the hell's the Hall of Fame for good people? And where's the Hall of Fame for people that do something great with their life? And it's just really something I feel good about, because I'm kind of that way. And I thought, you know what? If there was a Hall of Fame for good people, and there was a Hall of Fame for people who've done something great with their life, and there was a Hall of Fame for great athletes, Julie Hornsby would have made all 3. Julie, thank you. I felt that sincerely, and then I thought about, like Jim and Ryan, who were good friends of mine, and I thought, that's the same thing. And does Durham College, do we do something really good about people that produce that many good people? And I think maybe we do, and Jimmy and Ryan, you both qualify for what I said about Julie. Like, you just Hall of Fame people, not only Hall of Fame athletes, but Hall of Fame people, and what you've done with your life should be a role for all of us. Julie was born in Cambridge in 1967 and began an outstanding collegiate career in athletics at Durham College in 1986. She was a 2-sport athlete in basketball and softball and was the most valuable player in 2 of her 3 years with each team, or 4 MVPs. Prior to graduating in 1989, she was named an OCAA Basketball All-Star twice and OCAA Softball All-Star twice, and captured several OCAA championship medals over the 3-year period. She led the women's softball team to an Ontario silver medal and a bronze medal, and back-to-back years while capturing the women's basketball team to 3 straight productive years. Julie was a talented athlete, was named the Durham College Female Athlete of the Year in 1988-89. In addition to her college success, Julie was also one of the top ringette players in the country and led Ontario to many championships in the ringette world. And then I was watching, my wife was watching TV, and I see Julie picked another sport, which we won't talk about, and led McGill to a national championship while playing for them. This is probably got to be one of the most remarkable athletes and just absolutely neat people I've ever known. And I'm so pleased and honored to do this. And my wife sends great regrets, and so does my dog Ginger, who's a great friend of Julie's. And folks, this is a good person. Please help me welcome Julie Hornsby.
First of all, I'd like to thank Jim for the kind words. This is a very special evening for me because my immediate family as well as my extended family are here with me tonight, and it means a lot. I'm deeply honored to be inducted into the Durham College Sports Hall of Fame. As an athlete, one of my deep-seated beliefs is that when you belong to a team, you're only as good as the person that you're sitting next to. So with this in mind, I'd like to share this honor with my previous teammates on the women's basketball and softball team from 1986 to 1989. And also I was thinking that the timing of this induction is very significant to me for a couple of reasons. First of all, one of the other inductees was very much a part of my experience at Durham. Jim Buck was my basketball coach, as he mentioned, and he's also his assistant athletic director. And this means a lot to me to share this evening with him. And even though I didn't know Ryan Hughes, he came in a bit after me, Ken was telling me about his success in the sport of golf, and to share this evening with him too means a lot. The other reason why the timing is so special is that I've actually come full circle in that when I finished studying at Durham, I continued on my post-secondary education at a community college in Montreal, and then I went on to enroll at McGill University in the Bachelor's of Social Work program. So this honor tonight has given me a chance to look back and to consider how much I've grown as a person and an athlete, and to consider the people that I met here at Durham to be very much a part of that growth. And something that I didn't know back then and that I know now is that bad calls are actually okay in sports and in life. And as a social worker working with, I would imagine, the underdogs in our society, it's not a matter of what comes your way, it's how you deal with that will make the difference and will determine your success. So this induction once again tonight means a lot to me, and has been able to allow me to reflect back over 10 years ago and to see how far I've come once again. And finally, one of the determining factors for me enrolling here at Durham College was the fact that my paternal family resided here. So this honor gives me a chance to pay tribute to my family's legacy here in Oshawa, and this means a lot. Et aussi, pour mon père, je voudrais dire quelque chose en français pour lui. Je voudrais dire merci beaucoup pour cette recognition ce soir, et je suis très content pour ça. On behalf of my teammates, once again, I'm extremely honored to be inducted into the Durham College Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Let's hope that dog's going to be okay at home. Congratulations, Julie. I'd now like to call upon another former Hall of Fame inductee, a former student admissions director here at the college for many years, very close still to the program, and a member of the Hall of Fame selection committee as well, and still not a bad golfer as well. An outstanding golfer, I might add, who coached our golf program here for just about every year we had the program until you handed the torch over to the young man we're inducting this evening. I'd like to welcome this time Mr. Jerry Pettit.
Well, we come to the final award. A lot of the good stuff's been said, so we'll try and make it short and to the point. Ryan Hughes came into my life a few years ago. As a matter of fact, we go back a long way. As a matter of fact, the year he was born, 1969, was my first year here at college. So we started kind of together. It didn't take him long to go right by me there. So, the one thing that I remember about him is just the pleasure he gave me to watch him play. He brought to the game of golf a presence and an enjoyment that you could really celebrate. And it showed up in all the things he did. In the years that he was here, we started our first ever 2 team championships he led us to. And he went beyond that and had 4 individual championships on his own. And that's a record that probably will stand for some time to come. And after he left the program and went out teaching golfing and running a golf course, he coached 2 more Durham College teams to gold medal championship games. Adding up all his gold medals together, it came to an astounding total of 8 that he won individually. After he finished with that, he moved on out into Simcoe Shores, a small course up the road a bit, and started his life as a golf professional. Shortly after 2 years there, he came to Oshawa and spent a couple of years with us at the Oshawa Golf Club as an associate professional. Outstanding teacher, outstanding golf technician. Just, there are very few people that can equal him even now. And he was chosen by his own peers as a Associate Professional of the Year last year. And he went on from there. He has just accepted a job, which he started just in the last few days with the Granite Club in Toronto, who are building their first ever golf course after many outstanding years in all fields of skating and badminton and several other sports. And he's currently starting out with them now, and they have their first 9 just about ready to open. And I guess later on in the year they'll wind up with 18 holes, and he's going to be running the show. So Ryan, I enjoyed thoroughly the years we spent together. You're a fine young man, and you're a fine father, and a hell of a golfer. Come on up and get this.
There's only 2 pages here, so it won't be too long up here. I know. I once sat in your seats as well, and I realized you'd like to go across the road there for a couple of ales. So I just want to start by saying that it's an unbelievable honor to be inducted into the Durham College Hall of Fame. And congratulations to Jim and Julie as well. Although this induction is great and everything, I kind of feel a little bit aged here. I always thought Hall of Fame things were for older people. Well, my wife could be a testament. I do have some gray hairs here, but I'm only 30. I just want to give you a little brief outline of
my past and how I got started in the game of golf. Like I said, I'll try to keep this short. I basically started one day a long time ago, about the age of 6. I bartered a little guy to give me his father's left-handed 5-iron for letting him take a ride on my bike. So I had a left-handed 5-iron in my hand, and I'm a right-handed golfer, so of course I hit the wrong way. And that's kind of how my career began. I spent some years at Winchester Golf Club, which is just up in Brooklyn. I started work there at the age of 12. I got a membership from my parents for Christmas one year, and the golf pro at the time said, "Geez, you're here every day, you might as well work." And I said, "Oh, that sounds like a good idea, I can make some money." So it was a good little marriage there, and that's kind of how I got into the golf industry. I worked for a number of years at Lakeridge Golf Club under Jerry Nemish as the head professional, and turned professional after my college career here at Durham. I stayed at Lakeridge for 3 years as an assistant pro, and kind of fast-tracked my way to a head pro position, facilities manager at Simcoe Shores up in Beaverton. And this is maybe a little lesson for everybody here. I'm not saying it was a wrong decision that I made, but in hindsight, I really value what I learned up there. I took a step backwards, took an associate pro position to gain some more experience at the private club level. And worked at Oshawa Golf Club for 3 years, as Jerry pointed out, and have now moved on to an associate's role as well with Granite Club at the new Granite Golf site in Stouffville. Where do I want to go in the future? Well, I aspire to become a head professional at an upscale private facility somewhere in the GTA, so I really have that my focus. I just want to thank a number of people now who really inspired me along the way and have, I feel, have made great contributions to my personality and my career. Some of you may not know some of these people, but as a tribute to them, I'd like to honor them. One of my father's employees who, at a very young age, took me out to play golf, David Campbell. The first golf professional I ever worked for, Bill Wallace, at Winchester Golf Club. Dennis Suri, for showing me so much as a junior. Bruce Summers, who owns Lakeridge and Winchester Golf Club, who I worked for 15 years. Jerry Nemish, who was my second professional who I worked for 8 years. Dave Stewart, who a few of you here know at the college, for basically persuading me to stay here at Durham College and continue my career here. Ken Babcock and all the athletic staff for helping me organize and coach the Durham College team. Al Hickson, who's the head professional at Oshawa Golf Club, for his aid in my experiences and his friendship. The members of Oshawa Golf Club for their kindness over the last 3 years. All of my friends, too many to name, but for all their support and insight in my career. The selection committee here at Durham College for this induction. To my beautiful wife Terry, who's sitting over here, for not only her love and support, but also giving me 2 unbelievable boys, Bryce and Curtis, who I can't just say enough about. They're basically the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Of course, my parents, Harold and Linda Hughes, for all their love and encouragement that they gave me over the years, and really for not making me continue with those stupid swimming lessons that I was in at Camp Salmon. So. Yeah, Camp Salmon, all right. In closing, I just want to put a few words on paper here that I think might be of value to some people anyway. I encourage all of you in this room to set goals and standards, map out your future and learn from your mistakes. Aim for the stars and become involved in the sports that you love to play. My rewards from the game of golf and the golf industry are far too long to list here tonight. I sincerely hope that all of you can be as fortunate as I from a game that you all love to play. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jerry. Congratulations, Ryan. I would add that Ryan does hold an OCAA record that we'd like to mention this evening. 4 times he was the individual OCAA golf champion. 4 consecutive years, unprecedented, and most likely will never be broken. I'd also like to point out that Jerry Pettit is an outstanding golfer as well.